Yo, what's going on guys, it's Cynical, and today for you guys I wanted to sit down and talk about Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep and go over a few of the notable things that you guys should definitely keep in mind. These are different interesting bits of information to do with the gameplay, mainly leaning towards 0.2 Birth by Sleep. Now all of this information actually comes from Terminator, and Terminator is a news reporter for KH13. Many people were allowed to actually get a hands-on experience with 0.2 Birth by Sleep at E3 this year, and Terminator has actually written down a whole page of different notable things that you guys should probably keep in mind to do with the gameplay of 0.2 Birth by Sleep. This is most certainly probably the most exciting aspect of Kingdom Hearts 2.8, which is of course releasing later on this year in December, so you guys are going to want to note these things down. Let's get on with it. The first thing Terminator explains is the frame rate of 0.2 Birth by Sleep. He said that the frame rate wasn't precisely 60 frames per second, but it was somewhat close, so expect something close to or exactly 60 FPS in the final product. Now, the whole frames per second thing is a major thing going on with 0.2 Birth by Sleep at the moment, and I'm going to be actually getting a video out in the coming days talking about the FPS problem that 0.2 actually currently has. Now, it's strange that Terminator actually brings up the whole 60 FPS thing, because when I was actually talking to Sky, he was saying that the gameplay is more so 30 frames per second. But of course, there are instances throughout the gameplay of 0.2 where the frames actually drop a lot. Now, a lot of us are believing that this is actually because it's a demo of the game and the game isn't fully completed as of right now. But like I mentioned, I will be getting a video out further explaining this whole thing in the coming days. It is, however, interesting though that Terminator says that this is 60 frames per second. It looks like in some of the cutscenes that the frames actually increase, but more so with gameplay it's sticking around the 30 frames per second. Next up, Terminator goes over 4 different points to note about the heads-up display to do with Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, so let's go over it. The first bullet point explains that there is no command deck, so we are back to using the command menu from Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Now this really doesn't need too much explanation. It basically means that instead of using the command deck from Birth by Sleep, we're actually now using the command menu that the main installments of the Kingdom Hearts series use, and this is the exact same way that Kingdom Hearts 3 will play as well. My personal feelings towards this is I really don't mind, even though I did kind of enjoy the whole command deck that Birth by Sleep uses, that Recoded uses, as well as Dream Drop Distance uses. I still prefer the combat and gameplay that Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 offers. The next bullet point explains that the focus meter is confirmed to fuel shot lock commands, which have obviously made a return, so we of course know that shot locks are returning in 0.2 Birth by Sleep, and yes, that focus meter is confirmed to be the gauge for shot locks. The next point explains that the shortcut menu actually has multiple pages and they can be used for spells and items. You seamlessly switch between shortcut pages with the D-pad. Now this is something that we've actually been speculating for quite some time, because back when the Jump Festa event was going on, we of course know that we got a new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, and in that trailer we actually saw that in the shortcut menu there was 2 dots, sort of indicating that perhaps maybe there might actually be multiple pages to shortcut all sorts of things, ranging from magic to of course items. Terminator actually confirms that yes, the shortcut menu does exactly that in 0.2 Birth by Sleep, and probably as well as Kingdom Hearts 3, so that's really cool to know, because of the fact that the shortcut menu is just super convenient. I'm sure that all of us use the shortcut menu, whether it's for items or magic, so it's really cool to know that we actually have more space. And lastly, Terminator explains that MP charge is back. If you run out of MP, it automatically charges back to full, so exactly the same way as how MP works in Kingdom Hearts 2. Next up, Terminator goes over the gameplay aspects of 0.2, so let's jump into the first bullet point. It explains that combat is very fluid and fast-paced. The combat is not floaty or clunky like it was in Birth by Sleep. Now this has been a major worry that I think the community has had for both 0.2 Birth by Sleep as well as Kingdom Hearts 3, and that's for the main reason that the Osaka side of Square Enix is actually developing both 0.2 as well as Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, Osaka were actually also responsible for Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, as well as Dream Drop Distance. And there is actually some notable things to do with the combat and gameplay of both of those games, and that is that the normal methods of just attacking and the general use of combat in both Birth by Sleep especially, as well as Dream Drop Distance, is that it can actually be a little bit floaty, and this is especially like seen in Birth by Sleep. So it's actually extremely relieving to know that Osaka are nailing down on that fluid, fast-paced gameplay that both Kingdom Hearts 1 and more so Kingdom Hearts 2 actually offers, because I think that's the combat and gameplay that all fans want. Next up, Terminator explains that magic spell combos are back. If you perform the same magic spell multiple times in a row, there will be a finisher magic spell that is stronger than the base spell. So this has actually been something that's been relevant in Kingdom Hearts for quite some time now. If we look at, say, Kingdom Hearts 2, if we use like fire, like say 3 times in a row, that final third one will actually be a little bit stronger than the 2 other times that we first of all cast them. So magic spell combos are now returning. The next bullet point reads, flow motion is in 0.2, and as far as I can tell, the only way to trigger it is to cast Blizzaga near the ground, which leaves a stream of ice on the ground, and jumping on it triggers flow motion. So yeah, flow motion is going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3, and more or less we know that a lot of what's going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3 is also going to be in 0.2. Things like Keyblade transformations and attraction flow rides are not present in 0.2, or at least from what we know so far, but it does appear that flow motion to a certain extent is actually in 0.2, and briefly we can actually see Aqua slightly using flow motion in this scene right here. Now I'd say it's nothing really in comparison to the way flow motion works in Dream Drop Distance, but still to know it's actually in the game. The next bullet point explains that the parkour movement is triggered without actually pressing any buttons. There will be a group of sparkles on surfaces where this parkour action can be performed, such as the rock wall saw runs up in the Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay trailer. So of course we know that parkour is going to be this new ability introduced in Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's also present in 0.2 Birth by Sleep. Now previously I speculated that perhaps maybe you would hold down some sort of button, and then while you're holding down this button, it would then trigger the character to perform these parkour moves, where these parkour moves can be triggered. But from what Terminator is saying, all you have to do is walk up to these different objects that have the golden sparkles, and the character will actually automatically perform the parkour move necessary to maneuver over that object. And the final bullet point explains that Spellweaver has returned and triggers randomly, much like it did in Birth by Sleep. However, once it has been triggered, there is a 30-second timer that starts, and you can activate Spellweaver at any time in that 30-second time frame. Also, when Spellweaver activates, Aqua's Keyblade will glow, much like what we of course saw throughout the gameplay that we've been given, as well as the new 0.2 Birth by Sleep trailer. We all see that time and stuff inside that footage. And finally, moving along to the miscellaneous category to do with Terminator's 0.2 Birth by Sleep impressions. So the first bullet point reads, the Shadow Heartless turn into actual shadows when they crawl into the ground and avoid attacks, as opposed to becoming flattened 2D versions of themselves crawling around the floor. Now I don't know if you guys have actually noticed this, but yes, this is actually true. In all of the Kingdom Hearts games that actually contain shadows, which for the most part is the majority of the Kingdom Hearts games, when the shadow actually activates its shadow crawl ability, it doesn't actually become a shadow, but more or less it morphs into like a 2D version of itself and flattens itself to walk along the ground. So Terminator is saying right here that they actually do become shadows this time around, which really isn't anything major. It's more of a attention to detail sort of thing from Square Enix's side, but still very cool to note. However guys, that's the information that I wanted to share with you dudes from, of course, Terminator's hands-on experience with Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep. There is quite a lot of different things to, of course, write down and keep memorized, as of course this is a new installment into the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and really is the gateway into the next generation of Kingdom Hearts. What I will do is I will leave this article in the description below, as well as that I'll also leave Terminator's Twitter information in the description below as well, so you guys can go check him out. Otherwise guys, I've been Cynical, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.